What is up, guys? It's Coaster Thrills here, and today I am launching a new segment. This is Coaster Battles. Starting for our first matchup, we have Mystic Timbers at Kings Island and a Gold Striker at California's Great America. Now, if you have followed the channel for a long time, you may remember I used to do this but with no commentary, but now it is way better. For each video, I'll have about 10 categories. They'll be different in each video based on the types of the coasters, but today we will be going on height, speed, drop, airtime, smoothness, duration, layout, pacing, and finally, the theming. How my score system will work is that both coasters will get a score out of the number, I think, on how important the subject is. Like, for height, you'll get a score out of 7. And as we go on, the numbers will be added up to where throughout the video you can see the score and determine the winner at the end. As to start out, we have a great GCI wooden coaster matchup. But most importantly, before we start, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more videos on coasters often. Also, if you want to see more, make sure to follow our social media pages for updates and much more. But now that is out of the way, let's get started with the height, as I will be giving the coaster a score out of 7. Mystic Timbers is 109 feet tall, while Gold Striker is only 1 foot shorter at 108. So, based on the math compared to the tallest wooden coaster in the world, I'll be giving both of them a score of 4.1 out of 7. Of course, that 1 foot difference is not that much, so they'll both get the exact same amount of points, as the score is 4.1 to 4.1. And we will stay tied, as both coasters will get a 5.8 out of 8 for speed, as they are both, again, very similar in that category. Gold Striker being 1 mile per hour faster, 54, even though Mystic Timbers is taller. So we go out of the stats being a tied 9.9 to 9.9 as we get into our first non-stat based category, and that is the drop. And here I'll give the score on how good each drop is. So Mystic Timbers has a pretty standard drop, but what I really like about it is that it's steeper than others, making it a lot better, especially in the back. But then Gold Striker definitely has a more standard GCI drop, but it is enclosed, adding a lot more, and it is really cool. But in my opinion, Mystic Timbers' drop is just a little bit better, so it'll get a 0.5 more points than Gold Striker. And so our next category is the airtime, and both of these GCIs do it really well, but Mystic Timbers just has much more of it while also being very strong in almost all of them. Still, Gold Striker has a very solid airtime, but in my opinion, Mystic Timbers does it better. It's mostly due to that out and back layout, so it'll get a 7, and Gold Striker will get a solid 5 out of 10. So now let's move on to the smoothness category, as these are both pretty smooth wooden coasters, they being manufactured by GCI. Mystic Timbers is as smooth as you can get for a wooden coaster, probably the smoothest out there other than, some RMCs, while Gold Striker, on the other hand, is definitely not the smoothest. It's obvious that Mystic Timbers will get a higher score and having a pretty solid lead of 32.9 to 98.4 at the halfway point. And now we have the duration, and what's really funny is that they are both 46 seconds, time from the top of the lift hill to the brake run, which is not the longest, but both still feel like pretty long rides. They both will get the same score of 4 out of 8, which is pretty solid. So our next category is intensity out of 9, and here's is definitely where Gold Striker has the upper hand, as it is intense, being a twister layout, while Mystic Timbers is not as intense, but it has moments, so it'll get a 5, and Gold Striker will get an 8. And next, we have the layout, and once again, these both do it really well. Mystic Timbers is an out and back layout filled with lots of great airtime and just overall funness, while Gold Striker, on the other hand, is a twister layout that's more common for GCIs, but it is really intense with some great airtime going with that. So Mystic Timbers will get 1 more point because it is more original, and I just like that more. So next, we have the pacing based on how fast the ride goes through the course and how well it keeps the speed through the ride. And Mystic Timbers definitely at least feels faster through the whole ride into the brakes, while on Gold Striker it is still pretty good, so they will get scores of 7 to 6, Mystic Timbers getting that extra point. And finally we have the theme, and of course Mystic Timbers has a better theme, being themed to wood, but of course it has the shed and all the other theming in the queue, while Gold Striker pretty much has no theming other than, the name. So to finish off, Mystic Timbers will get a 3 out of 5, while Gold Striker gets a 1. So that determines our winner, and winning by 5.5 points is Mystic Timbers. In my opinion, it is definitely better, that leading to its win. My favorite GCI, though I encourage all of you to go and ride these coasters and formulate your own opinion. But I still love both of these coasters, so what do you think of this coaster battle? Make sure to post that in the comments below. I read every comment, love what you guys have to say, and of course, make sure to subscribe for more videos on coasters often. And see ya!